Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live.
6-1 your final, 6-9-0. Way better than 1-5-2 Cubs fall to 13-9. The Crew improves to 6-18. Fires over Arrieta. Good afternoon, welcome to Cubs postgame live presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Alongside Todd Hollinsworth, I'm David Kaplan. Saw John Lester be outstanding yesterday. Today, Jake Arrieta, not so much.
Well, early in the ball game. I mean, that's the one thing when you play the Brewers and you watch the Brewers over a period of time, and even coming into this season, you know, they have a very aggressive lineup, and Arrieta wasn't spot on with his control early in the ball game. You watch Ryan Braun jump all over a first pitch fastball that was hard, had velocity, 94 miles an hour, but didn't have any tilt along with it. Hits it out to center field. They're up 2-0 right away. So you saw a little bit of the same thing in the second inning. Gomez showed you why he's an all-star in center field, steals a couple bases, sets up another one, and drives in one. We didn't get any offense today. I mean, we were chasing pitches outside the strike zone. Mike Fiers absolutely has the Cubs number right now. He's got back-to-back performances going back to last year. What'd you come up with? 26 strikeouts over the last 2 times.
Last 12 innings he's pitched at Wrigley. That goes back to a start August the 14th of 2014. And today, he's pitched 6 innings in each one. He struck out 14 back in August. He struck out 12 more today.
He only recorded 5 outs in the field of play.
Unbelievable.
That's a lot of strikeouts.
A lot of strikeouts. All right, we begin with our Sports Authority play of the game. It's the one Holly just referenced. Ryan Braun taking Jake Arrieta out on the first pitch of his at-bat in inning number 1. Say goodbye. He got all of it. That ball is smoked to dead center. That ball's in the bushes.
Well, and that's what we saw a little bit from Jake Arrieta early in the ballgame. Didn't have great command. Walked Lind on, I think it was 5 pitches right there, so he was kind of feeling for it just a little bit. I mean, I was raving about all the success he's had at Wrigley Field this year, but when you're off just a little bit against this type of team that likes to swing the bat early in the count, you can run into trouble, and you saw it today. We talked about it on the pregame show, and it's exactly what the Brewers came out to do today. They weren't going to let Jake Arrieta start racking up the strikeouts with long at-bats and getting themselves in holes just by being patient or looking at pitches early in the count. They were going to be aggressive. First good fastball I see, we're swinging. And you saw it pretty much top to bottom in this lineup. A few of those dunked in there, some bleeders that fell in there. But for the most part, you know, that one swing of the bat by Braun kind of summed it all up. There's a 2-run lead for him. Fiers, we talk about the strikeouts, set this game up. I mean, we didn't score any runs today.
All right, scary moment in the second. A blooper to right off the bat of Carlos Gomez. Rizzo and Addison Russell collide. Ball drops in, a run scores. Very fortunate that you don't have somebody more seriously injured. I mean, those two guys smack into one another, and boom. And, you know, you see those two guys down, and you're thinking, you've got to be kidding.
Yeah. Well, that's what ends up happening on some of these balls. I mean, again, you know, you think back to spring training, and, you know, here we are at the professional level and say that these plays shouldn't happen. But you know what? These are the ones, you know, are very hard to practice because it isn't a pop-up. It's actually in between. It's a shank is what you kind of call it in baseball terminology, where he was jammed so bad there's nothing behind it, and both guys, if given a clean line to the ball, probably would have caught it. You see right there the top of his head where he ran into Anthony, already showing some swelling right there. But yeah, I mean, both guys end up going for the ball. This isn't about communication. This is just merely both guys who are both good athletes going after a baseball, trying to catch it, and right there you get the collision. You just hope for the best. Thankfully, both guys stayed in the game.
Yep, both guys seem to be okay. Later in the second, Gene Segura with a base hit under the glove of Starlin Castro. Another run scores. It is 4-0 Brewers. This game is over for all intents and purposes. Castro just did not play that.
Well, it looked like he was waiting for the ball to come up right there, and it stayed down. Yeah, I mean, we can question the effort just a little bit. You'd love to see it, but you know, I mean, let's be honest, Cap. This was kind of the tone of this ball game right here. It stayed down a little bit more than he was anticipating. He didn't completely get himself over and field it in front, where I thought he was going to do that at the first time, and the ball gets into center field. These things do happen. It was the tone of the game.
Then here's Anthony Rizzo, Cubs' only run. This ball is right just in front of where Ryan Braun's ball landed. He gets the home run. That's his 3rd of the season, but that's the only run the Cubs get. He went out and got a high fastball.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, we talked about it. You know, I even said Mike Fiers is effectively wild, and when he is, he's getting good results. But, you know, Anthony Rizzo right there was one of the few guys that was able to get up on a high fastball today and drive it out. So there you go.
All right, let's go back to Wrigley. Joe Madden meeting the media, brought to you by Xfinity.
And he had a good day against us.
What do you think accounted for all the strikeouts?
Elevated fastball, just like a lot of ride to his pitches, and then his cutter was very good also. I just think he was throwing the ball where he wanted to.
What happened in the ninth inning on that ground ball? Is that the teaching moment that you can use?
That's just, well, first of all, it was a routine ground ball. that's the play should have just, I mean, Starling makes that 101 out of 100 times, and then it turns into that. And really what happens, it seems to me as though KB thought he had to cover second, which isn't a bad thought because the second baseman was gone, the shortstop's in, I'm going to go to second. And then as you do that, somebody's got to get over to third, and that would be either the catcher or the pitcher. That's all. And then, but the worst, just hold the ball and don't throw it, we would have been fine. But it looked awful, and it was, but it just comes down to a play that we normally should make.
What did you see with Jake today?
Just never really got into a nice rhythm. Stuff-wise, looked like the velocity was good, some good break on the curveball, the cutter was there. Just never really got into that rhythm. And then he had like right around 90 pitches after 5. If there was nobody on, when he came up to hit there, I was going to let him stay. 2 outs, nobody on. But once we got something going on, the way their guy was looking, I wanted to try to at least break through. They have a good bullpen. They have some really good guys. So you don't want to be at a deficit late in the game against most teams, because the latter part of the deeper part of people's bullpens are really good. So you want to avoid that if you can.
So Leonard got on base a couple times.
Yep. Yeah, he did. The walk and then the line drive base hit. The line drive to left, that could have been a double. They made a nice play on. Overall, yeah, I thought he was a lot better. He wasn't chasing. Looked a lot more settled at the plate for me. And hopefully he's going to leave with a good feeling. Again, that guy was tough. That guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to elevate. I'm a big fan of that. 89-mile-an-hour fastball that looks like way faster than that, just based on the characteristics of the pitch, and he's got that.
When you see that play in the second, you guys, what goes through your mind the first second you see that?
I just honestly, I hope they're fine. I just hope that they're fine. You're running out there. I'm looking for blood. There's no blood. Nobody was howling in pain, anything like that. But your first thing is that they're going to be fine, and then you're looking for some kind of a bleeder, and then that was also good, and then. Immediately I talked to Riz. Riz said it was hit me in the chest, or hit him. He hit me in the chest, so I'm fine. Okay, and then we just talked to Addy, and Addy was just typically not very highly talkative at the moment, but he said I'm fine, and then we left.
They seem to be treating Brian a lot of a steady diet of all speed stuff, as well as busting inside.
Yep.
He's got to adjust it in early time.
Yeah, it is. That's what happens in the major leagues. You have to adjust, and you have to. He's swinging at some pitches out of the zone today too. He was, and just get back into the zone, because that's something that he had been doing well. Also coming out of spring training, he wasn't chasing. He's been doing it for the most part this season. He's been doing really well at maintaining the integrity of his strike zone. So I'm fully confident he's going to do that again. It's just their guy was good today. Their guy was good. Tip my hat to him. He pitched well.
Is defending the running game a team effort? Because you look on the sheet and it always looks like the catchers, one
right.
for this or 0 for that. Is it a team thing?
Yeah, it really starts on the mound. It starts out quickly. A pitcher gets the ball to the plate, and so it starts there, and then it goes to the catcher. Absolutely. We do have to do a better job with that overall. It's something we talked about a lot in spring training, and we just have to get better with it. Cool. Thanks.
All right, there you go. That's Joe Madden. As he said, Holly, tip your cap to Mike Fiers. He was outstanding.
Did it again, yeah. He was very good today. I mean, he elevated the fastball. Actually had the changeup. That was the one thing that stood out to me early in the season, is the fact that he used that changeup a little bit more, especially to left-handed hitters. And you saw it. He did not do that last year. Didn't really use the changeup. So that's a new part of his game that he brought in. And I'm not sure Cub hitters were ready for that. Anthony Rizzo saw a few of them. Dexter Fowler actually struck out on that changeup. We talked about the elevated fastball, but Joe is absolutely right. I mean, just complete command of all 4 of his pitches, and I mean, elevating with purpose. Chris Bryant looked a little disoriented up there. Was chasing sliders down and away, chasing fastballs up and in. You can't cover it all.
All right, we've got to take a time out here on our Cubs post-game live presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We return. We will talk more about this loss today to get you all set for tomorrow's series finale. We'll break down Mike Fiers and his strikeouts aplenty. Be right back.
Cubs post-game live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
There are measures we can offer. Other agents in the field.
I work alone.
Okay, what's it gonna take?
I want a guarantee.
He wants the card.
I'm in.
He's good.
on my phone.
What's in a drop? The expectation of what comes next. That's what keeps the energy going. The drop refreshes the beat every time. So what's in a drop?
With the dog as a partner, I've got to be up on my voice commands. That's why Xfinity's new voice remote is perfect for me. Find cop shows. I just say it and I see it. Finding my shows has never been easier. Watch Top Chef. The new X1 voice remote from Xfinity is coming soon. Perfect for people who want entertainment the easy.
Only DirecTV brings you every down, every yard, every score, every game, every Sunday. This season, upgrade your playbook with NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV with exclusive new features, plus more ways to watch. It's everything a fan can ask for. The games you want, the players you love, the teams you can't live without. Reserve your seat for the most live NFL action anywhere. Order NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV.
Since all insulating seal failures begin at the corners, with my Dream Window, we can't cut corners.
A formula that's maintenance-free and 80% more impact resistant. A new technology so our double pane outperforms the best triple pane. Low cost, durability, and energy saving.
Check. What's this?
It's the most advanced window on the planet, available only at Jack's.
At Wholesale Window, you're gonna see a big difference.
All right, time for our Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not hot? And the Cubs' next opponent, the St. Louis Cardinals. Who's hot? Game-winning hit last night, I believe. Matt Carpenter, 378, 14 doubles, 14 RBIs, reached 59 total bases in just 23 games played. Who's not? Mark Reynolds. Is that shocking? 200 average, 11 punch-outs, just 3 runs scored. The strikeout machine, or he hits a home run. That's about all he does. Welcome back to Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Our UPS store taking care of business. Player of the game, it's got to be Mike Fiers, who struck out 12 batters in 6 innings of work, and he just dominated.
Oh, I'm not sure what's more impressive, Cap. I've still been kind of wrestling around with this in my head. The fact that he struck out 12 or the fact that the Cubs only made 5 outs on balls in play. I mean, that's amazing. You're starting to think, why did Gomez leave the game? I mean, was he just bored out there or something? I mean, because there was just no activity. Dominant stuff. High, elevated fastball at times, down at the bottom of the strike zone. What was interesting, they talked about this during the ballgame, the arm angle for which he throws. I mean, he's straight over the top. I think a little bit of Josh Colmenter with the Arizona Diamondbacks at the same time, but he's hard to pick up. There was a few times in there where he threw 89 mile an hour fastballs right down the middle of the plate, and the Cubs hitters were late on it. I think of Welly Castillo, Chris Bryant a couple different times, so they were having a hard time picking him up. You put that together with the fact that all 4 of his pitches were working. I mean, he was on his game. There's that changeup right there that worked so well for him as well, which he's now, like I said, added to his repertoire. So, best start of the season for Fiers, no doubt.
Look at that, 3-0 at Wrigley, 0.89 ERA, 20 and a third innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 32 Ks.
It's amazing. Like I said, some guys just get into rhythms. I mean, you ask me all the time
about... we trade for him?
There's certain ballparks, and I tell you, sometimes it doesn't matter who you're going up against or where it is. You just feel good in that building, and that happens throughout your career. I mean, there's certain spots that, for whatever particular reason, I didn't hit well in Pittsburgh, but I hit well in San Diego. I have no explanation. San Diego's a tough place to hit, but I always got hits there. Fiers, explain it. I mean, there's days where he's a fly ball pitcher. Today, we were talking about this today, 76 degrees outside, wind blowing out, warm day. You're thinking, boy, we're going to pop 3 or 4 homers today with the power we got in this lineup. Goes out and strikes out 12.
All right, time now for our Cholula pitching recap. Jake Arrieta, who we've chronicled his struggles a bit, but let's look at his numbers today in this 6-1 Cubs loss. Arrieta, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs all earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. There's Mike Fiers, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. It was the home run from Anthony Rizzo. 2 walks, and a dozen Ks, and those 2 walks came in the first inning, and then he was locked in.
Yeah, that was it. Well, actually struck out 3 in the same inning. So, I mean, Fiers, this was all about him. It certainly was his day. Jake Arrieta, not bad. You know, a little rough at the beginning of the ballgame, as we talked about. Not a lot of late tilt on his pitches, and he got hit. I mean, you knew that these Brewers were going to come out and swing the bats early, and they did. A few of these swings, you know, some of these swings got in there, fell in. Obviously, Ryan Braun jumped all over a first pitch fastball, but once he got settled in, and really, to me, was able to incorporate the slow breaking ball, it helped keep the Brewer hitters off balance just a little bit more. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings, he was very, very good. Only gave up a couple singles there and actually picked up 4 of his strikeouts. So, had to do it over again. I would certainly love to flip it around. If he could have been a little bit better at the beginning of the outing, you think he would have gotten more from Jake Arrieta. So not bad.
All right, let's go back to Wrigley. Jake Arrieta.
Maybe at the start, I just missed with a heater. Early in the count, Braun was able to put a good swing on it. Just wasn't very good today. Plain and simple, didn't do a good enough job. We need more out of our starter, and didn't give us the effort that I intended to today.
What kind of did count early? Just not getting into a rhythm.
They put some good swings on a lot of pitches. Too many balls with too much height over the plate. I think they had four bloop hits, which led to, I think, the 2 runs in the second. But got to come out better. That's really it. Just got to come out putting up zeros early.
Did you miss your location on the homer by Braun, or were you just John?
Yeah, it was elevated, middle of the plate.
Does your heart kind of sink when you see the 2 kids collide over there behind us?
Yeah, it's a scary moment. They were both given a lot of effort on that play. It was a little out of their reach. One of those unfortunate things where 2 guys are going kind of balls out to make a play. We're thankful that they're both okay.
As a pitcher, do you notice the wind blowing out, or do you not pay attention to anything?
I mean, you check the flags just to kind of see where they're at. But yeah, I mean, you still want to be down with movement, so the game plan doesn't necessarily change. I mean, the pitch to Braun that he hit out was just, it was outer third up. It was a pitch that he was able to get extended on and use his power there. Other than that, outside of that, the big swing of the bat there, it was I think it was a walk, maybe in the second, or I don't know if it was the first or second, but anyhow, just elevated too many pitches over the plate. There were a couple there that kind of fell in, but at the same time, location wasn't necessarily where I would have liked it to be, and that's what led to the runs and the early exit. So, just start to finish, need to tighten some things up, which I will, and be ready for St. Louis.
As a team, is this one of those days you want to learn something from, or just kind of put it aside and move on to tomorrow?
Well, you can learn. There's always something to learn, regardless of the outcome. But we'll come out to win a series tomorrow and be ready for St. Louis.
All right, very honest guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he talked about early in the ballgame not being the tone setter, and that's the one thing that Jake has earned. I mean, usually when he pitches, he does. He comes out and sets the tone, and I'm not just talking about for himself or how we think the game is going to go, but for the offense. How is Jake going to attack it today? How is he throwing the ball? How's it coming out of his hand? Are we going to have to score a bunch of runs today? Usually it's Jake, dominating, especially at Wrigley Field. And again, like you said, we chronicled that in the pregame show today. But that, he didn't come out and set that tone. The tone was actually set up by Fiers, who walked 2 in the first inning and then struck out 3, meaning, all right, we're going to have to figure this guy out today. He's got good stuff. And then Jake obviously gives up the 2-run homer there. So the tone was set, and it was one that was favoring the Brewers.
All right, coming up next, we'll revisit Holly's keys to the game, preview the series finale. We'll be right back. Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Continues after this.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
I saw sell paintings of cats?
I sell antique cameras.
I sell mufflers.
Cellos.
Surfboard stemware.
It's odd. Beautiful. It has an unusual shape.
I have no idea how to pack this.
Wow. I need help.
I need experts.
It's fragile. Can you be trusted?
The UPS Store Pack and Ship Guarantee. We pack it, we ship it, we guarantee it.
So if anything happens to this?
We'll take care of it.
I love logistics.
We pack it, we ship it, we guarantee it at the UPS Store.
The first hybrid in America.
A Honda.
The first to meet the Clean Air Act standards.
A Honda.
And now we're the first to do something else. The Honda Dream Garage Sales Event! Right now you can get an amazing deal on a Honda Accord, named a 2015 IIHS Top Safety Pick.
Hurry, the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event ends soon. Get a great deal on an Accord today at your Honda dealer.
Make your outdoor chores easier with a Remington lawnmower from Menards. This 3-in-1 self-propelled mower has a 21-inch cutting path and self-propelled front-wheel drive. It's just $289. Add the perfect finishing touch to your yard with professional lawn edging from Mastermark. Flexible and durable, this edging can be used to form everything from straight borders to gentle curves. Right now, get 2 20-foot rolls for just $5.
Save big money at Menards.
Is your old garage about to fall down? Well, you're in luck. Danley's is offering a free wreck and haul. That's right, a free wreck and haul. We're gonna tear down your old garage and build you a Danley's. And with over 200,000 satisfied customers since 1959, Danley's is the best garage builder in Chicago for price, quality, and service. So what are you waiting for? Call Danley's today, 773-GARAGE.
Building your garage, good quality, depend on Danley. That's why we're number one.
This is history in the making. Cortez, 23 years old, first woman in the majors.
Never miss a moment. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable.
All right, let's look back at Todd's keys from the pregame show. See how tall he stood in the saddle. Brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield.
My chair's creeping down on me right now. Early at-bat aggressiveness. Really what I was talking about there is Jake Arrieta setting the tempo and the tone for the ball game, because I knew the Brew Crew was going to come out and swing those bats against them again today. And I hated to be right about this, but it's actually kind of what happened. You saw the Brewers put it to them early. They were looking to put balls in play. I think it was the first 4 or 5 guys swung at the first or second pitch and put the ball in play against them, obviously including Ryan Braun's 2-run homer. So he definitely was that. Effectively wild. Mike Fiers, unfortunately, was that as well. He was the tone setter in this ball game. He was the one using the elevated fastball, the changeup at the bottom. I mean, the command was there, even threw a slow breaking ball in there as well. His cutter was working, his fastball was working. Cubs were having a hard time getting balance on him and at the same time even picking him up. Credit Fiers. Best start of the season for him. Nice win today. And dingers, we thought about it, with Fiers being a fly ball guy and Arrieta being a 2-to-1 ground ball guy more and a strikeout guy on top of that. Didn't think anything was going to happen there. Braun's homer, kind of trumps Rizzo's solo shot. So I guess that's maybe the way we look at it. I thought there was a real opportunity for us today to maybe hit 2 or 3 out, and it just didn't happen.
All right, let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's series finale before the Cubs head out on the road to St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Let's see. You got Nelson against Hamill. And you see Jason Hamill, he's been very, very good. Not quite at Arrieta's level, but Arrieta struggled today. We'll hope Hamill can continue to trend the last couple.
Well, he's coming off
one walk on the entire season.
I was going to say, he's coming off a real good one. And, get into those corners. I mean, that's it. Jason watched the game today. He saw how aggressive this Brewer lineup was, and so he's going to feed off of that, and he's going to set his game plan up against an aggressive Brewers lineup that is getting stronger, it seems, as the weeks are going on. I mean, this Brew Crew team is not going to play as bad as they played up until this point in the season. I know we look at this and say, well, they got the worst record in all of baseball. We should sweep these guys. It's still a big league ball club, and they still have some very, very talented players on this team, so you got to be on your game. I think it's a real opportunity against Nelson. Nelson struggled with the walks already this year. The ERA's up there a little bit, and I think that if the Cubs put together their original game plan, going back a few days, where they're patiently selective and really picking on their pitches, they should put up some good ABs against Nelson.
All right, before we get out of here, Chris Bryant, golden sombrero today, first time. I don't think you ever did that in your career.
No, I don't think so.
4 strikeouts. What did you see that you didn't like that you think's got to get fixed?
Well, it's not that I didn't like it. I mean, it really just kind of takes me back to his very first game. I mean, sometimes you get caught in, as a young hitter, trying to make up for what you haven't accomplished in your mind, whether it's putting together good at-bats or having the at-bats that you think that you should be having or having the impact on the game. And Chris has been struggling a little bit of late. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot there. We even talked about that first homer. You kind of watch him pulling off some pitches away. A lot of times, more than anything, it really just comes down to the eyeballs. When you don't see the ball as well, and Fiers was very deceptive today, you get fooled by pitches. You'll see him wave at something that he picks up as a fastball and actually ends up being a slider or a changeup. I mean, what was thrown today was everything. Not a whole lot of strikes, and he was swinging the bat an awful lot.
All right, we'll see if he can maybe fix what ails him tomorrow. Probably work with John Maley in the morning and see if he can get this thing corrected. All right, there you have it. That's the knowledge from Holly. Thank you for watching Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Brew Crew wins at 6-1. Two teams will finish the series up tomorrow. Don't forget Sportsnet Central a little later, and check out our website for all the goings-on, including who the Bears took on the final day of the draft, csnchicago.com. For Holly, I'm Cap. See ya.